Welcome back to Let Us Tell It. I am Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank, and the other host is...
Gooseby. How y'all doing?
It's a weekly podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. This is a podcast where we talk about pretty much everything evolving around manhood or what we as men think about specific situations and, you know, how we are. We do a little bit. I call myself doing a little bit of research. But you know, you hear about all these things about, you know, society tells you about black men and men this and man that. It's like, let us tell it. We men, let us talk about it. Don't let it come from an article. So anyway, fam, today we are here to let y'all know who we talking about, Goose.
We're going to bust some
we
myths.
busting some myths. That's what we doing.
So men don't cry.
Yeah.
You know.
Men don't cry. Man up. Real men work with their hands. And then we're going to talk about real men eat meat. Men's diets. We're gonna bust all of that stuff. So let's kick it off because we touched on this actually the first episode. Men don't cry.
Oh yeah.
You know, we you know, a lot of us grew up with this whole toxic thing of you know men don't cry, and a lot of times it was just it was immaturity of of society, like an immature way of looking at things. Like men don't cry. Like come on.
Well, it's also media. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't affect just black men. This is men in general, all over the place. So you look at the old Western movies, Clint Eastwood. Yeah. You never see Clint Eastwood cry.
Nah, that man would get shot. Outlaw Josie Wells, he was walking around with a bullet in his stomach.
You know, they smoke a cigar, they got a bullet hole in their leg. First,
I used to be a big Clint Eastwood fan until I think probably a couple years ago.
What?
I realized a lot of his movies, he is a retired or in the Confederate Army, and they're basically villainizing the Union Army. I didn't realize that until like a couple years. I said, this makes sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. So I withdrew. Then Harder They Fall came out, and I'm like, we need more.
Harder They Fall. Did I see that?
The Black Western on Netflix. Yeah, you seen it.
I did see that.
I watch it 8 times.
That's the name of it. The way you said it was almost like Clint Eastwood was in this movie.
Oh no.
And I'm thinking like, hold on.
No. I watch a movie
Harder They Fall. Yeah.
I watch a movie like 8 times a week. Ever since it came out. I have. My household hates it. They like, oh, why are you watching this again? I'm like,
what?
Because I watch it. I do watch it.
Well, there's going to be a to be continued situation.
There has to be because of the way it ended. Oh my God, they need to do that. I love a good Western. If it's a good one, I was watching Tombstone when I found out about The Harder They Fall.
Tombstone is.
That's a good one.
Dang,
that's a hard movie right
Tombstone.
there. Anyway, men don't cry.
And it's because of the media. Yeah. All these old Western movies and any other movie. Any movie. Watch the strongest man there, the hero, the main character doesn't cry about anything. And
even when they, you know, a lot of it is a vengeance thing. Yeah. And the whole family get killed.
And they just
use it.
And they open it.
Use it. No. Open the closet full of guns.
Just, and they just go murder everybody. Yeah. Media shows that, and we look up to that as kids and as adults. I mean, we look up to that. I mentioned the movie 300. The guy is just brutal, man. And these guys in that movie, that guy, his son, got his head cut off. Yeah. He just started screaming.
Yeah, he sobbed. He wept.
Yeah,
that was different. He wept.
He did cry, but he knew he was gone. He just went and just sacrificed himself for everybody. But
that's like a grieving beyond insanity. It was like, yeah. Go ahead.
In order to cry, I got to go crazy. But it's media, and we're not even. You're not accepted when you cry as a man. Like you would want to be accepted. So, it's hard for a man to just break down and cry when they want, or when that urge comes to just cry and not be like, man, they gonna look at me like I'm a simp or I'm soft or yeah, I'm a simp. I'm soft, and people, that girl that I like ain't gonna want me because now she thinks I ain't manly or alpha enough. So, yeah, men don't cry. Well, are not allowed to cry, which is messed up.
Yeah. And I think at this point that whole myth is now catching up, because now it's like it's the big push of showing emotion and being emotionally available and having emotional intelligence. Not to say to be emotionally intelligent you got to go around crying all the time, but we definitely now know it's not good to suppress those feelings, to show emotion. And when we say cry, we mean show emotion, feel certain ways about certain things. I'm gonna keep it 100% real with you. The way I have changed after having kids.
Yeah.
Like, I was a type, like, coming up, I've been hunting, we've done all this stuff. I'm an old country boy, all my uncles, they all went hunting. We've done that type of things, dealt with animals, dealt with livestock, having to, my uncle, they pretty much did everything from carpentry to butcher to everything. They've done everything. So I've helped them, I've been in the butcher shop with them. It wasn't even a butcher shop. It was a barn where they, we had our own steaks and our own, when I was eating pork, our own pork. That was our cattle.
Gut the animal.
Yeah, they had, they shoot it, hang it, gut it, all of that.
Yeah.
I've been there from the birth, literally from the birth of livestock to eating it. So with that whole thing of coming up with that and having a different outlook on on animal life than some people may have. Now that I have kids, I'm to the point, after growing up from all that, like a snake or something go on, kill it. It could be a bug in the house. My kids will run and tell me, for some reason, from them being around, it bothers me to kill living things now. Unless it's a spider. Yeah. They don't deserve to live.
Oh my
goodness. Somebody gonna come at me. As long as I see it first, but I don't like spiders that I don't already see. But any other stuff in the house, I now catch it and throw it outside. To where that didn't happen until probably the twins were, now they're 7, probably when they were about 2 or 3. That's when I was like, I think it was a cricket got in the house, and this thing was screeching for days. I finally caught him. I said, "Oh, I got you." I caught him in the napkin. I was like, "Man, you just living your life. Let me throw you outside. You ain't no better. Let me go." From that point, it bothers me to do that. Even now, like watching certain movies, I now feel emotion. It's like watching certain scenes. I can't watch a scene with a child dealing with his father or losing his father in a cartoon movie. Nothing. It's hard to watch it. Maybe because I lost my father, but it's hard for me to watch it. It's like, whoo, Will Smith. Why don't he want me? Oh, that scene will break. Put it on right now. You gonna see me cry.
And I'm
talking to hold up, Will Smith. What's his name? Hold on. What's his name? Lou. Will Smith talking to Lou.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't he want my? Yeah, he should want him though. You know what I'm saying? It's Lou's the reason. Nah, we ain't gonna get on that. But what was you talking about?
Will Smith, I'm Legend, when his dog dies and he in the tub with him.
Look, when that movie first came out, I didn't care. Now, I'm like, man, they done bit the damn dog.
Yeah.
Ooh, a movie that I got so mad at.
What's that?
I'm sitting down there watching this goddamn movie with my kids, and when I tell you I got pissed.
Encanto.
Nah, the hell with Bruno and Encanto. I finally watched that movie.
Okay, go ahead.
Shoot, I lost my train. What's the name of that movie?
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon with the singing monkey.
I ain't seen no monkey movie.
Yeah, you have. What's it called? Vivo.
Oh, I ain't seen.
You ain't seen Vivo? Vivo's a good movie. I'm gonna go on spoiler alert. Spoiler alert with Vivo. Alert. If you ain't seen Vivo, skip forward. We in this movie. The old man, old black. He from Cuba. That's why I related to the movie. I was like, oh, it's my familiar right there. You know, it's my family. They from Cuba. Anyway, Vivo's little singing. I don't know if is his name Vivo. Anyway, I think his name's Rocky. I don't know. Old man in the movie. He can sing. The monkey helps him sing, and the monkey can sing his ass off too. When I tell you that old man ended up dying and it was so unexpected.
Dang.
I'm sitting there watching this movie and I'm like, watching it with the kid. And they had seen it before. I hadn't seen it. They had just kept watching it.
Yeah.
And I needed them to be quiet. So I said, I'm going to sit there and watch this movie with them. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, they done killed the damn man. I said, what is this about? Granted, I didn't cry, but I was mad because I could have cried.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I was so mad at that movie, man.
Oh.
I said, how they gonna kill the really?
Vivo.
Vivo.
Okay,
it's a good one. You and McKinley need to watch it. It is a good movie. But I was mad. But now, so like, me and showing emotion, just showing stuff like that. A lot of times it's like, they put out their whole persona, it's too much pride, it's too much ego, or like you said, society has put this thing on about men not showing emotion, the way you was raised. Like, men in my family, I never seen anybody shed a tear unless it was at a funeral.
Yeah.
Even then it was rare. You know what I'm saying?
It's ego, and then it's like, people are going to look at you a different way now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And it was to the point, even now, ain't nobody gonna catch me crying in no movie. Even if I'm by myself, I'm gonna fight it back. I ain't just gonna openly cry in no movie or no scene. Yeah. Is that bad? Yes, it is bad. It's not good. It's not healthy, and a lot of men won't even admit that that stuff be hitting them like that. But did having kids affect you emotionally like that? Oh, yes.
I let it go now.
I said they done made me an old punk.
We watch movies.
That's a bad way of looking at it, but I be saying that.
It is.
It is.
You done made
you old punk too.
I be out watching movies with McKinley, and if it get emotional, my wife, I can see her over there just looking at you. And then she'll, are you crying? I'm like, what you all in my face for, man?
Then they wonder. Yeah, it's like, no, I wouldn't.
I'm crying.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, and so I let it go now, and it takes work to hold the cry in.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Depending on what it is.
You have to work to keep your crying. So whatever, let it go. I'm married. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue too with younger guys, or even guys now that aren't married and with families, but you think you have something to prove. No one cares about you crying, and if they do care, that's the person you ain't got to deal with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to show your emotions, and like Tank was saying, every time you show your emotions don't mean you have to cry. You know what I'm saying? It's not,
or be angry.
Yeah, or be angry. Yeah. If someone gets in a car wreck, or this man cuts his wrist open working, me panicking ain't gonna help nothing. Yeah. But me controlling my emotion, staying, hey man, let's press this down, let's wrap this up, let's get to the hospital. Me being calm, this man gonna be calm. Me going crazy, he probably, man, how bad is it? You know, how bad is it? Oh, you yelling too? I'm yelling. So that's what we're talking about. Like your emotion, controlling your emotion, and knowing when you can let your emotions go. Talking to your wife about something and you frustrated, you might have to cry. And baby, this is frustrating me. Crying is better than the
release of that tension or whatever it is. Man, it's release.
So much better. So that's the controlling your emotions. It has different facets. You can be over here working, controlling your emotions, talking to your wife, controlling your emotions. It's just
it transfers over from situation to situation.
You're just trying to master that, and we're all trying to master.
Yeah, we used to have to do. I was with a company and I was an engineer at multiple buildings, and we had to do. I can't remember the exact term, but it's like disaster training. Basically, the same training that you probably had to do it too. That firemen have to do. Because we were in commercial buildings, some of these buildings 20, 30 stories tall, if there's ever a natural disaster and you got multiple casualties, multiple injuries, the fire department is not going to be, in the ambulance, whoever ain't going to be able to do everything. So you got to learn how to do triage. And one of the things that they always taught us is people panicking, give them a job. Give them something to do for them to control. So, because you can't sit there and calm them down and them running around crazy. Mm-hmm. So you giving them something to do is giving them something to focus that panicking on. If like somebody's running around screaming, you tell them, I need you to go around and get a count of how many people we got injured and let me know. And give them something to do.
Yeah.
And it's, similar situation of, if you are, don't know how to control a specific emotion, your brain needs something to release that or to contain that, so you can figure out how to work that out, or can't figure out how to calm yourself down.
But like you were saying, being able to tap in and control your emotions helps calm down the whole situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So arguing with Angel or me, getting into it with anybody, wife or friend, whoever, being able to just, all right, let's look at this. Let's let me control my emotions, because by controlling my emotions, it's going to set the standard for the whole conversation.
Right.
So yeah, it's being able to, no one's a master of this.
No. We're human. We're human. Unless you a Buddhist monk.
Yeah. I don't even know.
They might be pretty deadly. Yes, the dudes be wearing the
orange.
Yeah, the orange. They real peaceful and calm until they touch you and paralyze you.
But yeah, being able to control your emotions is something we all need to work on.
Absolutely.
And crying is a part of that. So holding your cries in, trying to hide that emotion, is, I don't know if it's detrimental to your health. I don't know if it hurts you in any type of way, but I'm telling you, releasing it makes you feel so much better. And now the person that sees you cry understands, dang, this affects him, and now they know how to treat you when it comes to certain situations. But if you never show your emotion or explain your emotions to somebody, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
I was reading an article, and it got too technical beyond what I was able to comprehend, honestly. But it was breaking down suppressing emotion, or whatever. Because of course I was tying it back to Black people in America. I always say therapy should be required and free for African Americans in the United States. Not to say it shouldn't be for all, many other races that are going through stuff, Native American, whatever, but I'm speaking for someone who identifies with being Black and is looked at as a Black man.
Yeah.
But it was definitely, you could easily tie it back to what Black people go through, what we've been through in the country, but as far as dealing with day-to-day things in society. But speaking about suppressing emotion and what that could physically turn into, is definitely been scientifically proven. Not releasing, because it's like pent up, it's tension.
Okay.
It's pent up energy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It builds. Eventually, it's different for everybody. It turns into anxiety, and a bunch of other stuff. It could lead to other health complications and all that type of stuff. But like I said, that particular article got way too technical. I'm like, nah, you done named out brain chemicals that are 48 letters long. I can't. I ain't the one for this.
Yeah.
But if I find another one, I can bring it up. But that's like the whole men don't cry. That definitely is not it's definitely busting a myth. If you talk to any man that has kids, I tell you what, Angel did. She used to do, and she's probably gonna do one more because of Amar. These Father Day gifts to me they would do a song.
What?
They would do a song and a video. Just for me. They on YouTube right now. That she's done, I think, 2 so far. 1, 2, or is it 3? 2 or 3 so far. And I had to tell her, don't do anymore. As much as I like it, it's too much for me.
Oh,
I have never. My brother even called me. He was I think the first one or the second one. He was like, that broke me down. But it's always like No, she redid one song. The Redman and Method Man remix of "You're All I Need"
Oh, okay.
to get by. But she did the remix of Redman and Mary J. Blige's not Method Man, Method Man and Mary J. Blige's rendition of "You're All I Need." And it was her and Lil Marcus. Broke me down. Then she did another one. No one in the world got a daddy like us. That's T.I. and them song. No one on the corner got swagger like us.
Okay.
So they did that one. That was a Father Day. It was a hip hop song off of, but it again broke me down way too. I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. Y'all love me.
She's like, you gonna be in here.
And I'm like, no, it's too much. I don't need that much emotion spewed from me. It's too much to take. But that's one of those situations. It's like, why would I suppress crying from something like that? Yeah. I'm not gonna keep it a secret. And when I brought, it broke me down to my brake pads. Yeah, like I was on my rotors. Like, but anyway, it's a stupid saying. It's a stupid way to look. I ain't gonna say stupid, but it's definitely archaic and it's just not it's not healthy. It's like, get over it, people. Men cry.
Yes, men cry. If you are a man, you should cry when you have that emotion. Don't hold it back. Whatever. And if the person you're dealing with is not
accepting
that, I mean, don't deal with that person. Because I know certain women, my man don't cry, soft ass,
yeah, you
can't really deal with that person because you ain't gonna grow, to be honest with you. But
men cry, I cry. Now daily, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Cause I already know, Angel, if I walk around just crying all the time, Angel would be like, hey, I don't know what happened, but you need to pull back. What you crying for now?
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got the balance. You got the balance, man.
So you can't hold it in for 40 years, and all of a sudden the 41st year you just make up.
Be out here mad.
Yeah. All right. The next bullet point, which is we kind of hit on also in the first episode, was man up. That's something that, like, I gave an example of this dude in the amusement park telling his son to man up because he was scared to get on a roller coaster. Yeah. Like, that's one of the worst examples of manhood I'd ever seen. But we all know, most of us know what the whole man up there is like, man up, be a man, don't cry, be a man up. But instead of using the real, more positive way to use the word man up is when it becomes the responsibility, man up. Yeah. That would be, I would say, one of the only ways that, and I know, there's, how do I put it? I know there's ways, it's like, I don't even want to go that far into that. It's like, well, I know people can say, oh, you can say woman up because women are strong too. This is not discounting anybody else.
Man, don't even.
No, but hey, people take stuff personal. Everybody takes. That's why I stopped reading comments. Everybody takes whatever you say, and they're gonna put it in their personal life and take it personal. But throughout history, more recent history, the term has been man up.
Yes.
So we know what that means. It's like, oh, be a man. What exactly does that mean to be a man? If I were gonna tell any of my sons or anybody to man up, it would be in being responsible, as far as being a better brother, being a better father, being a better friend, being there for people. But like, man up. What's your feelings on that?
Man up is for it has its place. You know what I'm saying? You playing sports, or if you're competitive, I think, and someone tells you to man up, you know what I'm saying? It has its place. Yeah. There.
Just real quick. Oh, go ahead. I'll come back to sports after you're done.
It has its place there, but you also have to know who you're telling it to. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thin line. Man up. I wrestled through 2 to 3 years in high school, but there are certain guys, my coach would tell us to man up, but there are certain guys that wrestled that, tell them to man up, they probably just start breaking down, crying even more. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know who you're talking to and how you can approach that certain person when you're telling them to man up, or when you're trying to motivate them anyway. You know what I'm saying? You don't raise your children the same. You know what I'm saying? Each child has a different demeanor. So I could probably tell McKinley, man up, and she probably be like, laugh that junk off and run off somewhere. Micaiah might, all right, let's go get it. You know what I'm saying? So you got
at youngest one.
That's what I'm saying. You might know each person is different, but you have to know it. You have to look at it and assess the situation and the person before you just start telling people to man up about riding a roller coaster and embarrassing them in front of their friends, family. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, look, we got this together. It's you and me. I'm afraid of roller coasters too. Let's do it. All right, let's go. You know, instead motivating. You know what I'm saying? A pep talk. So man up is definitely, I think, for sports, cool, perfect for man up. You got to pay your bills, man. Or man up, you got a family at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is manning up. You got to, this is going to be on your back no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to know who you're talking to, how you're talking to them, and be able to assess the situation.
Yeah, one of the things, like even with sports, like I know I got friends that played football their whole life all the way through college, and now like just having minor injuries and even not having to be told to man up, but telling themselves, I'm a man up and keep playing. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that some of them didn't even play football in college. They only played through high school. And now at this age, probably started in their early to mid 30s, they all getting surgeries for like bone spurs, just all types of surgeries that have come back on them 20 years later from manning up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I know a lot of them, I got a lot of friends that played even football through college. They tell me, I would let if the ones that do have sons, I would let them play up until high school, and after that, nah, because they know what it done to them. Yeah, even if they go to the league, they know the outcome of being in the league and the likelihood of you making. A lot of football players make good money, but most don't. Yeah, not relative to the ones that's making a whole lot of money. And they say they can play up until a certain point, but after that, nah, I'm good. If they truly passionate about it and want to play, they would let them. But at the same time, it's just like that's not what they're going to encourage them to do. Yeah, it's like I advise you to start doing something different. But that's that whole mentality of man up. And what I've seen the negative side of that, of people manning up. Of you told me to man up in this situation, now look what happened. Yeah. Or I told myself to man up in this situation, and look what happened.
I didn't even look at it like that, because I've been a victim of manning up. I'm hurt, knowing I can't throw this ball. I played third base, knowing I can't make it across the field, but manning up, I got to play. Yeah, throwing it and then just tearing my arm up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Even so like, that's what I'm saying.
Even like working out, this simple working out, I learned it probably took me until I was about 35 to stop working out and working past pain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because in the past, it's all right, shoulder bother me, so I'm going to keep going and manning up, working out. It'd be all right. Hey. It might be all right the next day, but 2 years from that point.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I don't know. I might have to take that sport thing back, because
but sometimes it's needed. Just real quick, I will say it's about sports. It builds character. It helps build character.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying? It's like because you can't let, if your kid is doing something and they don't want to, like my son, he would always get intimidated at the beginning of races and want to stop. I'm not going to let him stop. I never verbally said man up, but I'd be like, why are you crying? Yeah. You need to overcome that. Get this race. It's because he would just get intimidated and scared at the beginning of the race. He'd mess around and get first, second, or third. But I had to, like, that's something I needed him, and maybe I needed a better way of doing it, but that was just my way of coaching him through it. Is like, calm down. This is what you're going to do. We already here. We're not quitting. This is what you're going to do. But that was, the way I approach it. Now I never use the term man up. It never was, straighten up, get up. I'd be like, what's wrong? Like, explain to me. If he couldn't explain, I'm like, you need to get back out there on that line and you're gonna run this race.
Yeah.
But I think that's character building of him knowing, now he approaches it like recently. We were waiting at the park and we were waiting in front of a school and he was trying to, I don't know if he was doing something with basketball or jumping, but he was trying to do something and he couldn't do it. And he kept trying and trying. He tried for like 15, 20 minutes before he actually did it.
Dang.
But I'm like, I'm glad that was goal oriented. That was him. I ain't giving up. I'm going to keep doing this until I try. So in used right, it can be beneficial.
You have to know when you've tried your best and to say, okay, I've tried my best. Let me not hurt myself.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not, That's, man up is I guess you could say a kryptonite of mine because I've done, man.
That's all that needed to be said. Man up. All right,
it's over now. I'm going to get it. But in reality, I'm like, man, man, I'm good. I done did enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you good with man up? We moving on?
Yeah, man up is a double-edged sword, man.
There's different ways of saying of positive reinforcement because a lot of times it's not said in positive reinforcement.
Yeah. It's not. There you go.
Yeah.
It's not said in positive reinforcement. It's usually to make that person feel like they're not doing enough.
Right. Yeah, to make them feel less than. Or yeah. Okay. Y'all get it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Real men. Next myth: real men work with their hands. This one really, really annoys me when people say this because it's like, I know, like, as a lot of y'all know, I love cars. I love particularly old school and muscle cars. I work on my own car. I love people popping the hoods, looking at them. I do my own maintenance on my car and everything, on my old school anyway. I have friends that I actually go cruising with that they have old school cars that know nothing about cars. They just love cars. If that car were to break down, stop, not start, they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know to pop the hood and check the brake, the battery terminal. They wouldn't even know how often to change the oil in the car. It's like they not going around like Goose, replacing. I have the whole bunch of faucets in my house to replace right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like doing it, but I'm gonna have to. But if somebody, let's say if he didn't know how to do that, and he would have to reach out to somebody, it don't make him any less of a man because he don't know how to do that. Like, and that's even though it's said as a joke, Kevin always, I want to be a man like Goose and Tank. I want to work on stuff that has nothing to do with being a man. Is working with your hands.
Nah.
Do a lot of women like it? Yeah, Angel loves it. The fact that I can look at certain things and tell her exactly what's wrong and what it needs to be fixed and just fix it. But at the same time, it's like that has nothing to do with being a man. That's just something that she's attracted to. That's
true. I agree with you on that. But there's a but. Look here, man. This doesn't just go to just men, but you have to understand what's going on in your own household. Okay. Hold on. I preach this now.
Preach it, Goose.
Preach it. All right. You need to know.
You're wrong, Goose.
You need to know.
Let it leak.
I don't care, man or woman. You need to know where your breakers are in your house. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to know where your water cutoff is in your house. You need to know how to cut the water off to your sink and to your toilets in your house. This is just common knowledge. If you don't know, go to YouTube, Building with Goose, and find out. Okay?
Where they find it?
Building with Goose on YouTube. And everywhere else on YouTube, just Google it.
No, you go to Goose.
Well, yeah, you go to my channel. You should know this. Yes, you should know this. Now, outside of that realm, you need to know how to change a tire too. This is just
let Kev tell her. He don't need to know how to change a tire.
You need to know how to change a tire because they're gonna be.
He said that's what AAA's for, Tank.
That's what AAA is for. Until you in Costa Rica driving and your tire go flat and you on the side of a mountain and it's just you and a flat tire, there ain't no AAA out there. Or your daughter is somewhere stranded and she needs her tire changed, and she probably needs you to talk her through it. So
yeah, I've changed many women's tires.
That's what I'm saying.
On the side of the road.
My wife knows how to change her tires because her daddy told her how to taught her how to change them. This is
Angel did that. Was a couple years ago. She changed her own tires.
Yeah, this is stuff you need to know, man and woman. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of men that don't know these things.
Okay, this is me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for Tank. I will look at you different if you don't know how to change a tire or cut off the water to your toilet, man. There's something you have to know it. Okay. All right.
Kev, he still loves you.
Kev, if you don't know, man. And that's that makes me feel like, what am I doing as a brother-in-law? And you don't know how to do that. Goodness. But it doesn't make you less of a man if you don't. You need to learn it though.
Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's simple survival things.
Yes. That type of stuff you need to know.
Yeah, like saving your house from mass flood damage, knowing how to go to behind the toilet, under the toilet, to turn those valves off, breaker tripping, not having to call somebody, going to the circuit box, resetting the breaker. Yeah.
You know how to use your microwave, right? That's how important all these items are. You know how to warm up your food. You should know how to cut off the water, lights, everything in your house to survive. So if you know how to use a microwave, you should know those things too.
I did a video on changing your tire. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. So
on Angel's channel.
But other than that, knowing how to put tile down on your floors, knowing how to fix a hole in the wall, just working with your hands, man, that don't make you a man. I know plenty of men that know how to do that do not take care of their families. You know what I'm saying? They some just deadbeat dudes.
We're gonna talk about that on another one.
Yeah.
But even not in the profession of working with your hands, but like people see blue collar men versus white collar men on two different levels.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, y'all blue collars, y'all real men, but lawyers, they do that thing. My daddy was in the medical industry. You know what I'm saying? He wore a lab coat to work, but he still knew how to build decks and stuff and attachments onto the house bars. He re-shingled our whole house. But even if he wasn't doing that stuff, he was still taking care of his family and providing for his family. Yeah. So it don't make, that has nothing to do with, being a man or making you more manly because you drive a pickup or, know how to swing a hammer or, you got a Harley versus a Vespa.
To me, it's I mean, who's smarter? The man that is grinding hard enough to pay another person to do the hard work, or the guy that's doing the hard work. You know what I'm saying? So if I can spend time with my family while this guy is digging the ditch outside, putting my pool in, I rather that. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna say smarter, but I guess it's more educated. I don't know how you want to look at that, but it's just different. It's levels. There's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum because the guy putting in the pool. You know what? This is good.
Oh, what? Because I'm about to lose my. I was on my way somewhere.
Spectrum.
So on that spectrum, talking about the lawyers and stuff. So I had a building. I was a chief engineer in, and we had plumbers come in. And there was one attorney, like a high price attorney. He was like on one of the top floors. So he came around because I brought them up through the service elevator because they had equipment and stuff. He used to take the service elevator. This lawyer did, attorney. And we get on. So he's sitting there, nice guy, but he's sitting there, we're holding a conversation and he talks to the plumber. He said, hey, by the way, I got this. He brought up, I can't remember the issue he brought up in his house. He said, so what do I do to fix that? And the lead plumber, he didn't say anything, and his apprentice started to tell him. He said, hold on, no. He said, how much would you charge me for a consultation? Talking to the lawyer. He was like, huh? He said, how much do you charge for a consultation? He said, about $150 an hour. He's like, give us $150 and we'll tell you how to fix that.
That's crazy.
And I'm sitting there and I was just like, and I thought he was joking, right? And I was like, because this is like a tenant in my building. So I'm like, like laughing out. And I look and There was no smile given by. He was like kind of a jerk like that, but like he had a good point. It was just like, if I were to just walk up and ask you something that would save you money or to help you out, you gonna charge me for it.
Yep.
But you expect us, Blue, you see me over here with my hands dirty in my dirty uniform, you gonna get it free out of me. No.
Yep.
I'm gonna charge you for this. It's like, but go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
Yeah, that's basically on the same realm, a little different scenario. But what I was saying about the guy putting the pool in, he can charge me whatever he wants to charge me.
He can,
and up the cost at any cost he wants to.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to do. So I'm liking this.
You used to up the charge?
Oh yeah, I used to knock him over the head.
I mean, I ain't gonna be.
I'm liking this because I'm saying things, but then you're debunking some of the things I'm saying. But that's true. Like, the person inside isn't smarter than the guy working outside. Because I give you a scenario with me. On your AC unit outside, there's this little cylinder called a capacitor.
Yeah.
Right? Usually when
measured
it gets
in
hot,
farads.
there we go. Usually once it gets hot outside, it hasn't been working the whole time. If you got a gas furnace, it hasn't been on the whole time during the winter. Summer hits, all this power gets to it, bow, and it pops. Right?
It basically holds a charge and releases to help it start.
That capacitor costs $25.
Yeah, at the most, depending on the size. The most you're gonna pay for one, maybe $45.
Maybe $45. What I used to do, I mean, it is what it is, because it is what it is. That $25 capacitor will cost you $250 to $300, probably more depending on how far I had to travel to you. You understand? And if it's on the weekend, you about to break the bank. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You said, it is different facets, different levels to it, because that guy that can pay me to come out there, it's all good, Playboy. You ain't got to know how to do this.
Yeah, what's it gonna cost? $550. I get your unit running today. It's gonna be some hard work, though.
You did what you did,
and it's depending on the unit, there's 2 or 3 leads going to that. All you gotta do is like swapping a battery almost.
It is. It's like a plug-in. So you did what you had to do to be able to sit inside with your family, enjoy yourself. And I'm doing what I got to do.
I had my AC at the old house go out, and that's the first thing I went to do was swap that capacitor out, and that wasn't what it was. I said, dang! So I had to call somebody. Because to a point I could work on AC. When that didn't work, I was like, mother. It was probably something just that simple. Because I was checking all the terminals. I had my meter up there on the roof, had power everywhere. I was like, damn it.
So it's different facets. The blue collar man and the man in the office, blase. They're all level. They're on the same level. So there's no real men work with a hand. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And those are just examples. Yeah.
But you need to know how to turn.
Yeah, the simple stuff. That's survival stuff. It has nothing to do with manhood. That has to do with being able to survive. Being able to, like, my kids are gonna know. I actually was telling my son this morning, because I was always playing out in a garage or a barn with a bunch of tools. I was probably about his age, maybe a little younger. I was probably like 8, 9, 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
And my mom had a flat tire. And I had never changed a tire before. We was on the side of the road, and I figured that out. But that's because I had the background of playing with a bunch of stuff when I had no business doing it. And I ended up just figuring it out. But that's something that I would need to teach them. I definitely want to teach them, and they're going to know. And if I had daughters, the same. Angel was taught how to do all of that stuff. But anyway, moving on. Hope y'all enjoying this. Real men eat meat. It's stupid.
It is.
There's a documentary called What the Health. If you haven't seen it, check that out. That's that basically puts on blast that whole real men eat meat propaganda that came out. That was started by the meat industry. But a situation I had recently, me, Angel, and Danny, we was out to grab some drinks, and I got right. First of all, one of my favorite things to eat right now, appetizer wise, is buffalo cauliflower.
Oh yeah,
I love the best kind is what we cook at home because you crisp it a little bit, so good. But I love buffalo cauliflower wings. Anyway, so I had an appetizer of that, and I had like 2 other either vegetarian or vegan things, and then I had like some ahi sliders or something come. I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway, this old white man walks up. I don't even see him approach it. He walks up behind me, puts his hand on my shoulder, and was like, "A real man's supposed to be over here eating burgers and steak."
What?
And I'm sitting there, I looked at him, and then I looked around. I said, "Well, go find a real man and tell him, say it to my face."
Oh,
And I went on back to eating, right? And he, he laughed or whatever and went on. And Danny's looking at me with her mouth open like,
yeah.
how did you stay so calm? I was like, it don't bother me. I said, but you see how I turned it around on him?
Yeah.
You go find a real man and tell him come say it to my face.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how stupid.
Yeah, that is dumb.
But that's one thing, because I told Angel, I said that it happens all the time. Usually like older white men will come up and just try to joke around with me, and she said that's their way of trying to be on the right side of history. But anyway, I don't know if that's true or not.
Be on the wrong side of my hand.
But there's too much proof behind what, like going vegetarian is scientifically proven. It can reverse heart disease. It can be all these health benefits. I went vegan I did it for 2 weeks. I did it wrong. That's why I'm not still vegan. Mm-hmm. I did a raw vegan for 2 weeks. And when I tell you it changed everything, I had so much energy. I was working out. I got stronger. Just within those 2 weeks, I had more energy. Mm-hmm. I slept better. It was like my cardio was on point. Like I was able to run longer. It was like it's got to be drugs in these greens. Like just from the first week, I didn't notice anything. That second week, it was night and day. And then I was like, I remember being at the gym and I just got finished working out and I was on the treadmill running and I was still like, I don't know, 15 minutes in going at like a strong pace. And I'm like, I get it. Yeah. I get why people do this. This is crazy.
Yeah. The veganism is a different world. So how long did you do it?
I just did it for 2 weeks because I did it wrong. I went hardcore, raw vegan on Monday. This is what I'm doing, and that's the wrong way to do it. You need to ease into it. You need to know what you're gonna cook, what you're gonna eat.
You need to.
Well, I wasn't cooking. I was just eating raw vegetables and stuff. But what you're gonna ingest, plan it out, and actually be educated on it before you just decide you're gonna cut out a whole bunch of stuff that you normally eat. Not that I don't eat a lot of meat anyway, but to say I'm gonna go raw, that's a whole different. That's a whole different beast.
That's a whole nother world. So when I did the veganism, it was like I went about three months. I went vegan, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't eating enough. But I also realized that inflammation, like my joints, all of that wasn't hurting.
That's what I got on here.
As much as it was with the meat. I didn't feel bloated. I didn't.
After you eat, you get energetic instead of getting sleepy.
Man, after eating meat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, man, you sleeping all day. Man, you go to lunch now. When I had the 9 to 5, I'd be after lunch. Man, I'd be at the desk like just dead sleep because of the meat. It takes so much longer to digest in your body, man. So
it's harder on your system.
Doctors say this. I'm not saying this. It takes 2 to 3 days for the meat to digest, right? So today I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, all this meat. So that's 2 days. So this meat is not going to digest until Wednesday. So then Tuesday I eat meat again, piling it on top of this meat. It's not going to digest until Thursday. And you just keep doing this until, you sitting on the toilet and all you doing is pooping out pellets.
It ain't good.
Yeah, it ain't good. So that's my outlook on it. But
I dial back with meat. I only eat chicken and fish or seafood and chicken. Even rarely, I don't eat. I try not to eat chicken unless I cook it at home myself. I don't usually eat it when I go out. But that's just how I switched it up. But anyway, fam, that's some myths that we wanted to bring up and talk about. I think we done hit it and beat it.
Yeah, we eat vegetables. We cry. We show emotion. And
in positive ways and sometimes negative.
Yeah.
But we get it out.
We ain't perfect.
Nah.
Was that all the subjects?
Yeah, that's it. That's all we need to talk about. Hey, fam. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all for tuning in to Let Us Tell It. Catch us next time, fam. I'm Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank. You can find me at Marcus Ain't on the Gram, Marcus Ain't on the Book.
Gooseberry. You can find me at GOOLZBY on Instagram.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, all that goodness. And let us know what y'all think, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah. Till next time.